Hey everybody, I'm going to jump right into this one. I want to talk right about probably one of the elephants in the room that I've always noticed, at least for myself. I'm sure a lot of people out there probably going to feel a very similar way to this. But what's the differences between spirituality and religion? And how I like to approach these things is I like to give you a lens to see through so that you can decide for yourself how you feel about it. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong. I'm simply going to give you a different way of seeing those things so that you can decide for yourself. That's how I approach every every topic on this channel or anything that I try. At least that's what I'm going to be going for. That's very hard to do. It takes a very long time to kind of figure out where I believe on it and then to remove myself from that. So that being said, let's approach this one. I think that this is one that's going to help people breathe a little better on both sides. Because I feel like that's like a consistent argument or some tension between the two. And I feel like nobody really understands what the differences are because nobody's really done both and then been able to step back and really see it very well. Or if they are, I haven't met them yet and I haven't bumped into them yet. So I want to be maybe one of the first, at least for maybe you, to say this to you guys. This is how I like to see both of them together. When it comes to religion, that is like getting a Lego set that's already ready for you, okay? You pull the Lego set out, it's got instructions, it's got all the pieces you need, it's got beliefs, it's got meaning, it's got purpose, it's got some of the bigger ideas that are out there kind of revolving around maybe theology and God and what it means and maybe what's next, all that kind of stuff. It gives you a package that you can just put together, see it for yourself, and there it is. And I think that that is a beautiful thing. And you're going to understand that more when I start describing what I think of spirituality. You're going to see the differences, I think, very clearly. And you're going to understand why, actually, I think that that's a really great thing. I didn't always see it that way, but I do now. And I think you will too. When it comes to spirituality, that's like getting a box of Legos that doesn't have labels on it, doesn't have instructions. It's one of those bigger tubs of Legos, billions of pieces in there. Not all of them make sense. Not all of them look the same. And it's like you're basically putting that piece together, or that Lego set, blind. I mean, you've got something over your eyes and you're just feeling through it. You don't know what all the pieces are. You don't understand how they work exactly. And even when you start putting it together, you may not like it. You may not like what you find. You may not understand all the pieces. It may not look the way that you hoped it looked. And then you're kind of sitting there trying to remove pieces, put pieces back together, seeking other sources, asking other people or teachers or guides, seeing what other people think about it, and, kind of doing it all over again, starting over from scratch sometimes. Sometimes you have a pretty good one, and maybe there's just one piece missing and this, that, and the other, and some pieces are invisible. You can see what I'm saying. When it comes to spirituality, you're really putting it together for yourself. And the first thing that I'm going to say is that there gets a point where you feel like you're off the deep end and you don't know where to go and you get stuck out there. It's like a vast ocean and you're just swimming around. I almost didn't get back to shore when I did it. And I approached it just like you hear me kind of saying now, like with a lot of questions. And you end up seeking. You have to seek out the answers. And that can be hard because sometimes you don't even know what you're looking for. So that's the difference though. I wanted to kind of lay the two out for you guys so you guys can see it for what it really is, not for what a lot of other people say out there. In fact, I think a lot of people out there, when it comes to spirituality, they show a lot of the fluffy stuff. They show a lot of the woo-woo stuff. They show a lot of the what the best parts of, it's all about and how it feels, because that's marketable. Okay, that's simple. When it comes to the Carl Jung stuff and the shadow work and feeling around on the inside internally and self-actualization and all that kind of stuff, or self-love and finding out all this stuff, they don't talk much about that. And that's the real hard work, and that's where people get really stuck. And yeah, we can talk about that on maybe another video. But I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. What I'm always going to do is try to give you guys a lens and let you guys decide for yourself. I put myself out of the picture, and I don't give you what I kind of believe on it. As far as where I fall or what I do, I try not to anyways. That's what I'm trying to build here. And that takes a lot of time and effort and energy and a lot of different, what's the word for it, language and developing that over time. This has been more than a 30-year kind of project for me. And, you know, after 30 years, I'm just starting to piece it together and do it in a way that I think is very coherent. So just keep that in mind when you kind of approach any of my stuff, is that that's going to be my goal, is to try to do it that way. Am I always going to be successful in that? Hard to say. I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to be more conscious of that and deliver it that way. But it's a work in process. I'm going to be involving my own language and everything that I kind of give here. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hope this has been helpful. See you guys there.